Okay, so at the end of the last video, I talked about how I broke a piece. It's the Y rod holder that was broken. It is this piece right here. And I think this is probably a fairly common thing. It's a very thin linkage of filament right here that attaches this section. So here's the deal. I am going out to try to find a replacement. That's my goal. Somewhere nearby, maybe someone in the 3D printing community will help me out. I've already got some leads, and we'll let's go see if we can salvage this.
Hi, I made a thing.
So I went on Reddit and got some really good advice to come over here to the blog at Prusa3D.com. Click on community, go over here to where it says map of the world. And when you click that, you're going to see, look at all these people. These are people who have like willingly shared their location with other members. I am not in Europe. I'm over here in North America. So you can watch as I zoom in to my area, just how these bubbles keep popping up with more and more people. At this point, I am myself, I'm on this map, and so are a bunch of other people, as you can see. So what I did was I found like 5 people that were really close by to me, and I sent them a message. As you can see, most of them, well, at least these 3 did not even respond. Okay, cool. These 3 did respond, but this guy right here, Kurt, he's the one who came through in a big way. So he answered me. I offered to pay him to make the part. He said that he'd be happy to do it. He's not going to charge me. I went on vacation for a week, and partway through my vacation, I got a message with a picture of the part done already. So we're on our way over to see Kurt to pick that up now. Okay, so I am now heading out to this gentleman's house from the Printables website who has printed me the part that I broke. He lives about 10 minutes away. Actually, he's really close. He lives, I mean, literally like almost next door to where my parents live. So we're going to take a drive. All right, we are approaching the neighborhood. Okay, so I just got the parts from the guy. It's hot as hell. I'm in Florida. I've been standing outside talking to him for 20 minutes because it turns out that we were both in the military and we both like to fly and we both have a lot of crazy stuff in common, so we ended up talking for a while. But I got the piece. It's right here, and we'll go home and work on that. Okay, and I'm back. We now have the new piece right here. So if we talk about or compare these two, you can see sort of where this all went wrong and where this broke. So there's the pieces and how they should look and how this one looks. Okay, so I want to thank Kurt for coming through. I think this is a really cool aspect of the 3D printing community and the Prusa community more specifically. So this is dope. So now we can continue with the build. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the square nuts out of the broken one and put them in here, and then we'll pick up from there. Okay, so I was going out to try to get the little square nuts out of here, and honestly, it's a pain in the butt. I ended up having to saw through it, and then I ended up losing one of them, so that wasn't exactly great, but you know what is great? This is great. The spare bag is great. So what we're going to do is pull them out of this bag instead. 1, 2, 3, right there. Okay, so we've got our new piece, thanks to Kurt again, and we're going to put this in, and now we will put this thing back on. So I believe we put them on this way. Come on, Y-axis holder, don't let me down. There we go. All right, so next bit, we were going to attach this Y-axis bar to the frame. That's where we left off. This one is done. This one needs to be done. All right, drinking my nondescript beverage. What's in here? Could be milk, could be beer. You don't know. Neither does YouTube. Okay. Okay, so I'm using M3 screws. I'm going to use my cheat sheet, because it's been a few days since I've been here to do this. So it says M3 by 10. M3 by 10. So that is this little bad boy right here. So let's grab 4 of these. And then away we go. Actually, is this in there all the way? I think it is. Okay, so I guess that step is done. It only took me a week to finish that step. Okay. But everything feels sturdy. There you go. The next step is step number 27. It's called aligning the smooth rods. Move the Y carriage back and forth across the entire length of the smooth rods to align them. Okay, well, we're good. Step 28 is assembling the Y motor pulley. All right, it says there is a flat part on the motor shaft. Rotate it similarly to the first picture. So you know how if you put like a knob on like an old car stereo or like maybe an older oven, how it's like a cylinder that you stick on the knob, but one side's flat so that you can only put it on one way? That's what they're talking about here. There's a flat side on the, I don't even know what you call that, the part that sticks out of the motor that you connect your thing that you want moved to. So it says it wants me to rotate it towards, honestly can't tell. It's either up or the inside a little bit. I'm just going to like kind of go with it and see what happens. Place a GT216 pulley on the Y motor shaft. Okay. Don't know what that is. We're going to place this with the spindly part for the belt, obviously, away from the motor. Okay, so it's saying that one of these 2 holes on the pulley has to be on the flat part of the shaft. Got it. Slightly tighten the first screw. Okay, what screw? You didn't mention a screw, Prusa. Okay, so I'm a dummy and also maybe not a complete dummy. The screws are in the holes already. They're just like little hex screws that are inside here that you'll just tighten with an Allen key. Now here's the thing that I'm still kind of weird, I don't get, is none of the 5 Allen keys that I got with this kit actually fit this correctly. There's 2 that are too small and there's 3 that are too big to go into the to the enclosure here. So you can still do it by using one that's a little bit too small and sort of rigging it, I guess, but it's I don't know, not ideal. But let's go ahead and just put this on here facing this flat part. It says don't tighten it fully anyway, so I'm just going to turn. It is on there enough now that when I spin the pulley, the shaft spins with it. So it is tight enough that it is holding this screw pin against the flat side of the shaft. So, you know, that's good. Let's turn this around. Slightly tighten the other one. Okay, I got it, but I still maintain that none of these Allen keys fit that the right way. And I don't know if I'm just stupid, but whatever. I had to rig it to tighten it, but it's on there now. I'm looking at the supply list for this step, which is step 29, Y-axis assembling the belt. Here are 2 Y belt holders. They are, one's bigger, one's smaller. I also need the belt, which is this guy right here. I also need M330 times 1 and M310 times 4. So this is an M310, and I think the M330 is only one. That's what I had the thing backwards. So this is one M330 and 4 M310s. We also need one nylock nut, and there is one right here that came in that bag, so we'll put it right here. And 2 regular M3 nuts, and those are here. So those are the steps, or I mean, sorry, the parts. It says take the Y belt holder, the smaller, insert the M3 nut all the way in, and I'm going to force it down in there, because you do have to force it down in there. Ah, ta-da, done. Okay. Insert the nylock nut all the way in to this spot right here, which is kind of a 90-degree turn from the other one. All right. That feels like it's all the way in. Bend one end of the belt around the M310 screw. So I've got the one end of the belt and I've got an M310 screw, and you just literally pull it around like this. I don't know if I'm supposed to have a little bit more slack here. Probably not. And in the photo, we're just holding it like this. And it says, push it in the holder as in the picture. So what you're doing is just sort of trapping this in there. So you want to take this, put it in this hole. We're going to screw the screw into the nut, and then this is going to hold this belt inside this printed housing. The teeth on the belt must be facing up. Well, probably should have read that step first, because I did the opposite. Let's pull this out. I haven't tightened it down or anything yet. Tighten the screw until you reach the nut. Don't over tighten or you'll deform the belt. Okay. I think I've reached the nut, but I mean, how do you oh yeah, I've reached the nut. We're cool. So now what you have is this. You have this piece coming out of the plastic piece here. I think it needs to be in a little further actually, but we'll see if that's a problem. And then teeth up, facing out like this. That was step 31. Step 32, Y-axis assembling the belt. Use M310 screw, fix the Y belt holder to the Y carriage. So we're going to connect this to the carriage. Tighten the screw and ensure the printed part is parallel with the axis between the Y motor and the Y belt idler. So I'm trying to look at these photos, which are on the screen. I'm going to do that, because some of these photos are kind of hard to digest. It's clear to me that this is coming from the bottom of this piece, from the bottom of the slidey piece here. I forget the name of it, the tray. And we are going to... Okay, it's got the 3 holes. It shows the 3 holes that are in the... right here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And it looks like it's telling me that this piece connects to the hole that is facing the short extrusion. So that's going to be this guy right here, but from the bottom, from my end. And it's going to be with the belt coming out this way. Okay, I'm going to put this in. I know that this is not the best angle for you to see what's happening, but I don't really see how I can do this otherwise. All right, so I'm going to try to show this to you real quick, what we just did. We just attached this plastic piece to the carriage. and it comes out like this with the teeth facing down to the bottom of the machine. Guide the belt along the y-axis, around the pulley, and back. Okay, so we're going to take it, we're going to guide it along the y-axis, we're going to guide it around our pulley, and we're going to bring it back. The next step is to push the Y-belt through the Y-belt idler and back to the center of the Y carriage. Okay, so the Y-belt idler we did earlier at the front of the machine, just like a pulley without teeth. And then we're going to pull it around this motor on the other side, and then pull it back. Oh, I keep fucking that up, sorry. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to do, right there. You see if I pull on this belt, it's gonna move. So, this is correct. Now I just have to figure out how I connect this piece back, and I assume it has something to do with that other hole that we did. Step 33, assembling the belt. Take the Y-belt tensioner, which is the other one. Insert an M3 nut all the way in. So this is just like the other one. The M3 nut is going to go into this hole right here, according to the diagram, I guess. Oh, I see what I was doing. It's the other side. It's the shallow side. Yeah, so it's on... All right, so the bigger piece, we're going to put the nut right here on this shallower side. Make sure it goes all the way in, and it does. It does. Okay, we're doing the same thing on this one that we did on the other one. So we're going to take a piece of the belt, we're going to wrap it around the screw. And I realize, by the way, that this is not a great view for you, and I'm really sorry, but like, I'm not really sure how I could position this in a way that the camera can see better. So you're just going to have to go with me on this little trip. So this piece is going to be like this, with the teeth facing up. I'm going to put it in this way. I'm 94.5% sure that I'm doing this correctly right now, which is, you know, that's a solid A, right? It's definitely a little bit tricky to do well, I think, because there are a lot of forces at play here with this rubber band and these pulleys, and I think everything kind of wants to pull things in its own way. Step 34, assembly the Y belt. Using M310 screw, fix the Y belt tensioner to the Y carriage and the opposite hole, which is the hole towards the front of the machine on that center of the carriage. There's 3 holes. We're going to the one on the end. Use an Allen key, have it at the ready, make this hopefully a little bit easier. And let's put this in there. What do you say? So now the last step for this part is this longer M330 screw. And this one is going to go through both of these pieces that we just put in here and hold them together, essentially. So it'll go through this hole all the way through that piece into the next one, and then into the nylock nut on the other piece. Again, I know this view is not good and that I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All I'm doing is trying to tighten a fat Allen key into this nylock nut on the other side. Okay, so here we are. The belt is on, it's tensioned well, and I think we're good to go to the next step. We're on step 37, testing the y-axis belt. Using the technique described below to test if the belt is properly stretched. Use pliers to hold the x-axis motor shaft. Okay. Move the Y carriage with your hand towards the y-axis motor. Don't use it. If the belt is stretched properly, you should feel a resistance and the Y carriage won't move at all. Yeah, I mean, that's what's happening. It is tight, it is not moving. So we are good there. So guess what? Guess what time it is? Dun dun dun! Haribo time! Carefully and quietly open the bag. High levels of noise might attract nearby predators. That's true, by the way. My wife told me the other day, she's like, "You're lucky, I almost opened your bears." I was like, "You don't even know what I would do to you if you opened my bears." You need to split the bears into 8 groups according to the upcoming chapters. For the y-axis, you must eat 15% of the bears. So I have to eat 6 bears. According to this, it's going to be 3. I mean, I don't know if it has to be these flavors, but this is the picture, so we're gonna go with it. 3 Reddies, 1 Whitey, 1 yellow E, and a green one. So after step 37, step 38 is, oh no! I caught it on my shirt. We're cool. Y-axis is done. Great job. Check the final look. Compare it to the picture. You should feel some resistance moving the Y carriage because the motor. Yeah. Okay. Y'all ready to do x-axis? You know what? This actually feels like a pretty good place to stop. We've just completed the entire y-axis, and next time we're going to tackle the x-axis. It's already done. I'm just editing that video now, so that should be out pretty soon. And I hope you join me for it. Thanks.
Hi, I made a thing.